Nneka was a bright and curious 10-year-old girl who loved learning new things. However, her life wasn't without its challenges. She had a skin condition that made her skin appear lighter than her classmates, and they would often tease her mercilessly. The bullying started with negative comments and whispers behind her back, but it soon escalated into physical attacks. Nneka tried to ignore them, but it was hard. She started to feel like she was all alone, like no one understood what she was going through. She would often cry herself to sleep at night, feeling like she didn't belong. Her parents and teachers tried to help, but they didn't seem to understand the depths of her pain. They would tell her to toughen up or ignore them, but it wasn't that easy. Her class teacher suggested she see the school therapist. Nneka would cry and cry there, and after all the motivations, she went back to face the war outside. Nneka's only solace was her weekly visit to her grandfather's house. He would play his flute and she would listen, mesmerized. He taught her how to play. For a brief moment, she forgot all about her troubles. With time, she found an idol, Ira's star, and would listen to her singing about vibe killers and friends as wolves in sheep clothing. But the bullying continued. She believed she wasn't as strong as her brave idol. Deep down, she wanted to be. Nneka started to feel like she was at her breaking point. She would sit in class, feeling like an outcast, and wondered if anyone would even notice if she disappeared. One day, a sense of dread settled in the pit of Nneka's stomach as she stood frozen in front of her bedroom mirror, staring at her reflection with tears welling up in her eyes. "Nneka, why are you crying?" her mother asked, concern etched on her face. Nneka sniffled, wiping away her tears with the back of her hands. "I don't want to go to school, Mommy. I hate it there." Her mother's expression softened. "What's wrong, sweetie? Is it the bullying again?" Nneka nodded. She has been dealing with cruel taunts and teasing from her classmates for what felt like an eternity. They would call her names like Ghost or Albino and exclude her from games during recess. As she walked to school with her mother that day, Nneka felt like she was walking into a war zone. Her heart racing, she clutched her school bag tightly, wishing she could disappear. The bell rang, signaling the start of another dreadful day. Nneka walked to her classroom, her eyes scanning the room for potential threats. That's when she saw them, a group of girls working towards her, pointing in her direction. "Nneka, you're so pale. You look like a ghost," one of them mocked. The classroom erupted into laughter. Nneka felt her face burn with shame. She quickly took her seat, trying to escape the mocking gaze of her peers. But the teasing didn't stop there. Throughout the day, Nneka faced a barrage of hurtful comments and insulting remarks. She began to wonder if she was indeed less worthy because of her condition. During recess, Nneka tried to join in on a game of soccer, but the other kids refused to let her play. "You are too weak," one of them said. "You would just get hurt." Nneka felt a sight of tears, but she refused to cry. Instead, she walked away, trying to find a quiet spot to escape the chaos. Even in solitude, Nneka couldn't escape the bullying. As she sat on a bench, trying to collect her thoughts, a group of kids walking by, taunting her with cruel words. "Hey, ghost! Why don't you just disappear?" one of them shouted. Nneka felt a surge of anger, but she knew that reacting would only make things worse. Instead, she took a deep breath and tried to focus on her favorite song, Bloody Samaritan. As the second bell rang, it was time for lunch. Nneka gathered her belongings, eager to escape the toxic soccer field. Nneka carried her lunch to the toilet, seeking solace as she ate alone, singing softly to herself. She found a brief moment of happiness. Suddenly, loud bang dropped on the door, startling her. She opened it to find Ada and a group of girls glaring at her. Without warning, Ada began pushing and shoving her. Nneka tried to defend herself. Girls overpowered her, attempting to push Nneka's head into the toilet to flush. Humiliated and hurt, Nneka sat on the floor crying, anger bubbling within her as she made her way to the head teacher's office to report the incident. What was her offense? Ada accused her of touching her bag with her ghost hands. To Nneka's dismay, the girls denied everything, claiming instead that Nneka had bullied them, alleging that Nneka had attacked her. Despite her protests, Nneka was to be punished. Nneka waited for her mother in the school lobby. As she waited, a group of kids surrounded her, threatening her and demanding she kiss their shoes. Nneka was about to comply when another girl shouted, "Nneka's mother is here!" The group scattered, leaving her shaking. Nneka and her mother was invited into the head teacher's office. Her mother listened as the head teacher spoke about what Nneka did. Her mother insisted that it was impossible for her daughter, Nneka, to hit another child. "Nneka is well-mannered," she added. The head teacher turned to Nneka. "Did you raise your hands on Ada, who is a teacher's daughter in this school?" "That was because Ada was pushing and shoving my head into the toilet." But before Nneka could finish her statement, the head teacher interrupted. "Madam, Nneka's violence is a matter of concern. This school has zero tolerance for such," the head teacher concluded. "Do you?" Nneka's mother asked. "Nneka, tell her how you have been enduring bullying, which I have complained severally. But no one bothered to look into such issue. Nneka, speak up!" Nneka tried to speak, but tears overwhelmed her. Her mother defended her to the school. However, the kids who came to bear witness in Ada's favor said a lot of damaging things about Nneka. The school suspended Nneka for 1 week. Arriving home, her mother expressed frustration over the repeated incidents, promising to transfer her to a missionary school next term. Yet, Nneka had heard this promise back in year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, school after school. It didn't matter how well spoken of the schools. Kids are the same everywhere. Nothing ever changes. Later that night, despair consumed Nneka. "Why was I even born?" she whispered to her mother, her voice heavy with sorrow. Her parents consoled her, encouraging her to join a club like the basketball or the science club to find a new sense of belonging. But their words couldn't take out the whispers of ghosts, albino, echoing in her mind. As tears soaked her pillow, Nneka resolved to end her life. She crept into her parents' room, taking 2 ties from her father's wardrobe. Back in her room, she tied them together, securing one end to her wardrobe and forming a noose with the other. Just as she was about to step into the loop and hang herself, Her eyes fell on a photo of her late grandfather who passed away a year ago. In the picture, he looked at her with a gentle, loving gaze. It felt as though he was speaking to her, reminding her of her worth and the strength she had forgotten. Nneka collapsed on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. She realized she couldn't let the bullies win. She had to rise above the hate, just like Ira Star always sang about. A week later, after the suspension, Nneka resumed school. During the assembly, the head teacher announced that the music talent show was to be held in a month's time, and the pupils were encouraged to prepare and participate in the audition. The next morning, Nneka woke up with a sense of purpose. She got dressed and headed downstairs to the kitchen where her mother was preparing breakfast. "Mommy, I want to join the school talent competition," Nneka announced, her voice trembling slightly. Her mother's eyes widened in surprise. Nneka, that's wonderful. But are you sure you're ready for it?" Nneka nodded. Determination etched on her face. "I want to show them that I'm more than just my skin condition. I want to show them that I have talent." Her mother smiled, pride shining in her eyes. "Then go for it, sweetie. We will support you all the way." With newfound confidence, Nneka began to prepare for the audition. She practiced singing every day, rehearsing Ira Star's hits in front of her mirror. But despite her growing confidence, Nneka couldn't shake off the fear of being ridiculed on stage. What if the other kids laughed at me? What if I forget the lyrics? The day of the audition finally arrived, and Nneka's nerves was on the edge. She had been watching the other kids perform from the backstage, too afraid to take the stage herself. As she sat in the auditorium, listening to the judges' feedback, Nneka felt a sense of determination wash over her. She couldn't let fear hold her back anymore. She waited until the audition has ended. All the pupils has returned to their classes. She took a deep breath, stood up, and began to make her way to the stage. The judges looked up, surprised. Nneka suddenly climbed the stage and grabbed the microphone. "Hi," she said, her voice trembling. "My name is Nneka, and I'm here to sing." She sang beautifully. The judges were blown away by her performance. She earned a spot in the competition as the judges gave her a ticket. Nneka kept it a secret and hid her ticket in her bag while other kids flaunted theirs. As the day of the competition drew nearer, Nneka's nerves began to fray. She started to doubt herself, wondering if she had made a right choice or if all this was a mistake. But then she remembered her grandfather's words, "Believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable." Taking a deep breath, Nneka stood up straight and looked herself in the mirror. "I can do this. I can do this. I can do this," she whispered, a fierce determination burning within her. The day of the competition arrived, and Nneka's heart was racing. The audience was filled with familiar faces as she stepped onto the stage. Her classmates, her teachers, and even her parents. The kids in the audience started to mock and whisper to each other. Nneka's heart sank, but she remembered the words of her idol. "Rise above the hate and shine." Nneka took a deep breath and began to sing. Her voice was shaky at first, but as she gained confidence, it grew stronger. Just as she was hitting her motivation, the kids in the audience started to laugh and mock. One of them shouted, "She's a ghost!" Nneka's eyes began to well up with tears, but she refused to give up. She remembered the lyrics to her favorite song. "I've been through the fire, I've been through the rain. I've been broken, but I will never be tamed. I rise above the hate and I shine my light. I won't let the bullies bring me down tonight. As Nneka sang, she felt a surge of adrenaline and determination. She looked out in the audience, meeting the gaze of her tormentor. She sang with all her heart. Their eyes fixed on Nneka as she performed. They could see the pain and the passion, and they knew that they found something special. As Nneka finished her song, the audience erupted into applause. The kids who had been bullying her just moments before were now cheering and whistling. Nneka smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. She had faced her fears and risen above her fate. She had shown the school what she was capable of, and she had proven to herself that she was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. The judges' feedback was glowing. Nneka, you have a truly remarkable voice. One of them said, your passion and determination shines through in every note you sing. Nneka beamed with pride. As she left the stage, the kids who bullied her cheered her louder than those who just avoided her. Unfortunately, Nneka didn't win the competition, but she came close. She took second place, and as she walked off the stage, she felt an overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment. Nneka's journey didn't end here. She continued to sing, to play music, and to spread her message of hope and resilience. And when she was 12, she won another competition, which made her popular in the country, the Nigerian Idol, the biggest music award in the country. This time, she gave a powerful speech about the danger of bullying and the importance of kindness and empathy. Nneka's story is a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome adversity. It's a reminder that we all have the power to choose how we respond to challenges, and that with courage, resilience, and determination, we can overcome even the darkest of troubles. Kids, did you enjoy today's story? See you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Bye.